Good morning. It's Chris. It's Tuesday, July the 9th, and I want to talk about something that's been on my mind, and I've been wanting to do it, but I haven't done it, which is it's a whole hell of a lot harder to get rid of a politician than you might think. Now, obviously, this is relevant because we're talking about Joe Biden and whether he should be on the ticket or he shouldn't be on the ticket, he should step down, he should resign, all those things. Biden this week, Monday, came out and said, look, I'm running. I'm in this. I'm going to be the nominee. And if you want to try to beat me, come at me at the convention. Okay? So that's a dare, obviously, to people who are bad-mouthing him to say, like, look, if you think I should be out, go through the mechanisms to get me out, which is a lot harder than you might think. So let me go back a little bit before we get to Biden, because this is relevant. So a few years ago, the governor of Virginia was a guy named Ralph Northam. He was a Democrat. It came out that in college, he had appeared in blackface. He had gone to a party or something like that, and he had appeared in blackface. Obviously unacceptable. And everyone, basically every Democrat in the country, up to and including Joe Biden, called on him to resign his office. Northam was like, no, I'm good. It was a long time ago. I regret it, but I'm not resigning. And what happened? He served out his whole term. And very few people by the end of that term really talked about the whole blackface incident because he sort of dared them to challenge him, dared them to, impeach him, to get rid of him. And I think that that's instructive, right? Because I just was thinking, okay, since Northam, we've had George Santos, who basically made up his entire life in New York, Republican congressman, clearly exposed as a complete and utter fraud. And yet, George Santos lasted politically longer than you might think because he refused to resign in the moment. He was like, no, kick me out. Now, they eventually did. But I do think it's instructive. Right now, Bob Menendez, the New Jersey Democratic senator, is on trial for bribery and a bunch of other things in relation to his relationship with a guy from Egypt. Every Democrat has called on Menendez to resign. John Fetterman, the senator of Pennsylvania, has just attacked him relentlessly. He's corrupt. He needs to go, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, everyone up and down the line has called for Menendez to resign, and he's not. And basically, he's still in office. Now, does he win this fall? Probably not. But it's harder to get rid of someone than you might think. This is not true, by the way, just in politics. Will Lewis, the publisher of the Washington Post, all these bad stories about him a month ago, right? All these questions, reporters saying he has to go, he's lost the newsroom, et cetera, et cetera. Don't really hear that much about it anymore. And the guy is still the publisher of the Washington Post because he was like, no, kick me out, make it happen. I think that a lot of politicians have learned the lesson of Ralph Northam and also learned another lesson that happened 7 years ago. Al Franken, senator from Minnesota, obviously a famous Saturday Night Live comic, was run out of the Senate after allegations that he had inappropriately kissed and touched women. Now, Franken denied these things. He said they were misunderstandings. But there was sort of a rush to judgment to say he needs to go, led by New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. In the wake of that, I think that a number of senators said, we probably went too fast with that, and Franken probably didn't have to go. And Franken certainly probably, if he had to reassess it, would say, oh, I should not have resigned, which I think is very common in politicians I talk to and have seen interviewed, which is those that resign amid sort of this momentum of you have to go, whether it's scandal or age or incompetence or whatever, almost to a person, they, in retrospect, think, I really wish I hadn't resigned. I should have just stuck it out because public attention moves on. Things change. What seems really bad in the moment isn't as bad. A month later, I should have just gutted it out. I think that's what's guiding sort of Joe Biden's thinking on this, which is, yeah, everyone wanted me out the day after the debate. But 12 days after the debate, there are plenty of people who say, look, the debate was bad, but Biden's our guy. And, Biden is essentially saying, like, use the mechanisms to get rid of me if you can. Bring it. If you come at the king, you best not miss. To quote the greatest character ever in the history of television on The Wire. So he's saying, like, beat me at the convention. He's not saying this, but use the 25th Amendment. If you really think that I need to go, I'm not going voluntarily. You need to take me out via the structures that are in place to do so. And that's hard. Not just hard to logistically do, but it's hard politically for these other people. Politicians don't really want to make waves. They don't really want to go out on a limb. They want to sort of go where people generally are, right? They want to skate to where the puck already is. And so I think that Biden, in doing that, is following the lead of Ralph. He probably wouldn't want to be associated with this company, but Ralph Northam and Bob Menendez and George Santos, and learning the lesson of Al Franken, which is, if they want to get rid of you, make them get rid of you. Do not get rid of yourself. Now, we can debate whether that's sort of the right thing to do, but I will say it generally works. It's way harder to get rid of politicians than you think it might be. All right, that's all I got for today. So subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We are desperately close to 30,000 subscribers. So come on, help me get there. Like this video, comment on this video, and tell 5 friends. Can you do those things for me? I appreciate it. Also, go Spurs. All right, take care, everybody.